Good morning, everyone. Today, our subject is GEEL 14NC, which is Readings in Visual Art. Our topic for today is Elisabeth, Louise, Vigèe Lebron, and Georgia Okafi, and this video reporting is prepared by yours truly. First off, I will introduce our objectives for today. At the end of the lesson, learners must be able to identify the biography of Elisabeth, Louise, Vigèe, and Georgia Okafi and know the background about Elisabeth, Louise, Vigèe's famous portraits and Georgia Okafi's famous flower paintings. First off, we will proceed to Elisabeth, Louise, Vigèe Lebron. He is born in Paris on April 16, 1755. Elisabeth Louise Vigèe was the daughter of Jean, a hairdresser from a peasant background, and Louise Vigèe, a portraitist, pastelist, and member of Académie de Saint-Luc, who mostly specialized in painting with oils. Elisabeth exhibited artistic inclination from her childhood, making a sketch of a birdman at the age of 7 or 8. When he first saw her sketches, her father was jubilant and exclaimed that, "You will be a painter, my child, if there ever was one," and started to give her lessons in art. Her artistic style is generally considered part of the aftermath of Rococo, with elements of an adapted neoclassical style. Her subject matter and color palette can be classified as Rococo, but her style is aligned with the emergence of neoclassicism. Vigèe Lebron created 660 portraits and 200 landscapes. In addition to many works in private collections, her paintings are owned by major museums such as the Louvre in Paris, Hermitage Museum in St. Burge, National Gallery in London, Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York, and many other collections in Europe and the United States. Her personal habitus was characterized by high sensitivity to sound, sight, and smell. Between 1835 and 1837, when Vigèe Lebron was in her 80s, with the help of her nieces Caroline Riviere and Eugene Tripper Lefranc, she published her memoirs in 3 volumes, some of which are in epistolary format. They also contain many pen portraits as well as evidence for young portraitists. Let's proceed to her artworks. First is the Marie Antoinette in Gauli, 1783. Marie Antoinette in Gauli, the criticism for this portrait's casual spontaneity had been so intense that Vigèe Lebron had it removed only a few days after it was displayed in the Salon of 1783, and quickly made a copy of it with the queen wearing a blue silk dress, which was displayed instead. Makita taman sa painting ni Vigèe Lebron nga ang iya gidya nga subject is mga persons nga mga famous. And mga tao man nga gakakamit niya throughout her life. The second one is the Marie Antoinette and her children, 1787, in the Palace of Versailles. During the Napoleonic regime, this portrait was taken down by order of Napoleon, who had become concerned about the number of people who visited the gallery to see it. Instead of removing it from the gallery, the guards placed it in the dark corner, and visitors paid a small sum of money to see it. Vigèe Lebron was pleased to see it again there after her return from exile, and later still to see it displayed normally after the Bourbon Restoration. Ang painting ini gingamit man to produce some money. And ang iya gid nga mga painting is basically ginapahalagahan gid sa mga royals. The third one is the Madame Perregaux, 1789. The illegitimate daughter of Nicolas Vigèe, banker of Louis XV palace collection. Vigèe Lebron witnessed many of the events that accelerated the already rapid deterioration of the ancient regime. While traveling to Romanville to visit a Marechal de Ségur in July 1788, the artist experienced a massive hailstorm that swept the country. This painting is inspired during her travel in France. Let's proceed to our second artist, which is Georgia O'Keeffe. Georgia Toto O'Keeffe, born in November 15, 1887, was an American modernist painter and draftswoman whose career spanned 7 decades and who work remained largely independent of major art movements, called the Mother of American Modernism. O'Keeffe gained international recognition for her meticulous paintings of natural forms, particularly flowers and deserted-inspired landscape. From 1905, when O'Keeffe began her studies at the School of the Art Institute of Chicago, until about 1920, she studied art or earned money as a commercial illustrator or a teacher to pay for further education. Influenced by Arthur Wellesley Dow, O'Keeffe began to develop her unique style, beginning with her watercolors from her studies at the University of Virginia, and more dramatically in the charcoal drawings that she produced in 1915 that lead to total abstraction. Alfred Stieglitz is an art dealer and photographer, held an exhibit for her works in 1917. Over the next couple of years, she taught and continued her studies at the Teachers College, Columbia University. In June 1980, O'Keeffe accepted Stiglitz's invitation to move to New York from Texas after he promised he would provide her with a quiet studio where she could paint. Within a month, he took the first of many nude photographs of her at his family's apartment while his wife was away. His wife returned home once their session was still in progress. She had suspected for a while that something was going on between the two, and told him to stop seeing O'Keeffe or get out. Stiglitz left home immediately and found a place in the city where he and O'Keeffe could live together. So, in the statement, mapakita na kung nga ang mga painting bala ni O'Keeffe is may mga meaning behind it, deep meaning. And ang iban dito is mga sexually deep meaning. So let's proceed to her artworks, which is the Flower series. So Flower usually don't break new ground in art criticism, yet that is just what the New York Botanical Garden current exhibition, Georgia O'Keeffe Visions of Hawaii, manages to do. The multimedia presentation offers a lost experience for visitors, while also resurrecting a forgotten episode in life of one of America's best-known artists. So this first flower reflects the characteristic of O'Keeffe, which is Mistress diba si O'Keeffe, and ang flower nga ini is a presentation that offers a last experience for visitors. And amo gini ang natabo kay O'Keeffe. The second one, by utilizing a small ordinary flower to suggest the immensity of nature. O'Keeffe sought to undermine her view's habitual ways of looking. As she marked, paint it big and they will be surprised into taking time to look at it. I will make even busy new workers take time to see what I see of flowers. So the last flower series is the Georgia O'Keeffe Red Ghana 1924. I found that I could say things with color and shapes that I couldn't say in any other way, things that I had no words for. Georgia O'Keeffe wrote in the foreword to a catalog for an exhibition of her work 2 decades before she became the first female artist honored with a retrospective at the Museum of Modern Art. And also, based sa nakuhaan ko nga website about this painting ni O'Keeffe, ang flower nga ini, nga painting niya is also a representation of body parts sang girl. So, may more deep meaning pagid ini siya. Okay? So, that's all for today. Hope you learned something from me. Thank you, everyone.